Woo! What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the football game from yesterday. Detroit Lions with the Carolina Panthers coming to Motown, facing the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. And what a whooping that game was. 42-24 for our Detroit Lions. Panthers falling to 0-5, and the Detroit Lions going up 4-1, locked in at first place in the NFC North. This game was just pure domination again, right from the start. Lions get revenge on the Panthers from last year, and just, good game for Detroit Lions overall. Let's talk about it. But before that, talk about some injuries, and there were some injuries on both sides of the ball, both teams. With the Panthers first, offensive guard rookie Chandler Savala had a neck injury, was on the field for quite some time, ended up getting carted off. Scary moment for the Carolina Panthers. Scary moment all around. The whole crowd went silent. It was stoppage of play for a very long time, for a pretty good significant time. Got the neck injury, obviously didn't come back, and the reports were that he's moving some extremities, his hands, his toes, his feet, and stuff like that. He's moving some things around, so he's probably going to be done for the season. Hopefully, it's nothing where he can't play ever again. But he's probably done for the season. That's what my guess. But he is at least moving some body parts around. And then they had safety Xavier Woods out. He was inactive with a hamstring injury. Inactive too. Cornerback Deontay Jackson had a shoulder, inactive. So they had a couple guys out, and they had that big loss of their rookie guard. And then for the Lions. During that game too, we lost cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. He was making his Lions debut. Tore his ACL on his right knee this time. He already had a left knee apparently the year before, and I guess the year before this is what I heard on the internet. So I don't know if everything is real on the internet. It's just you can't really trust that. But apparently he hurt himself last year, Week 5 against Carolina, when the 49ers played them. I don't know how real that is, but that's some pretty bad luck. And then they coming back the following year, Week 5, Carolina, and you hurt yourself again. So I don't know, man. But it's both knees. This time it's the right one. Last year the left one. So he's out for the season. Done. What the Lions are going to do with that? Jerry Jacobs stepped in. Obviously, he was getting majority of the snaps yesterday. Anyways, Jacobs and but Mosley was supposed to be a really good. He was supposed to be a starter here. So that's done for. That's over. So hopefully that young man can recover as well and make a bounce back the following year for whatever team he's on, because I don't think we have him locked up for 2 years. I think it was just a 1-year deal. So we'll see what happens there. And then during the game, we lost running back Zonovan Knight with a shoulder, and and then inactive was guys like St. Brown, abdomen, Jahmyr Gibbs, the electric rookie, had a hamstring, and then defensive back Brian Branch, the other rookie out of Alabama, had an ankle injury, and all inactive. So we had some injuries as well too. So that's the way that goes. Then let's go to the stats. We do the home team. We do the road team first. Sorry about that. And it was the Carolina Panthers. So let's get along with that right now. Quarterback Bryce Young was 25 for 41 on a 60.9% completion percentage, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 1 time, pressured a ton, and he didn't look too bad, man. He made a couple bad throws, obviously, and we'll get into that too. So, but yeah, he did have 3 touchdowns, his first 3 touchdowns of his young career. Rushing, running back Chuba Hubbard, the Canadian, what's going on? 9 for 35 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. Running back Miles Sanders, 7 carries for 32 yards at 4.6. He also had a fumble lost. And wide receivers Laviska Shenault had 5 carries for 27 yards on 5.4 yards. Looks like he got a little bit moved to running back because they had some guys banged up too as well. So he got some running back work. And then quarterback Bryce Young, he had 1 carry for 4 yards. We held them under 100 yards, 99 yards to be exact. So the Lions did their job once again, rushing on the run defense. The receiving, wide receiver Adam Thielen had a big day, 11 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown, 9.7 yards per catch, 13 targets. So Bryce Young was looking for him. He is their number 1 option through the air. Wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, 5 catches for 48 yards, 9.6 yards per catch, 7 targets. Wide receiver DJ Chark, the ex-Lion, 3 catches for 42 yards and a touchdown as well on 14 yards per catch, 6 targets. And then tight end Hayden Hurst had 3 catches for 21 yards on a 7 yards per catch and 3 targets as well. So perfect score there. Tight end Tommy Tremble, 1 yard, 1 catch, 1 target, 1 touchdown. So yeah, that's pretty much what they did offensively through the air. A couple touchdowns, obviously Bryce Young, like we talked about. Thielen doing a lot of the work. Chark in there as well. Tommy Tremble scoring as well. And then the defense didn't have as good of a game as I thought they did. Their offense didn't really help out the situation though. Gave the Lions a couple times on the short field, and the Lions capitalized. But their defense, safety Sam Franklin had 8 tackles. Safety Von Bell had 9 tackles. Linebacker Frankie Louvu had 7 tackles as well. Cornerback C.J. Henderson, the old Jacksonville Jaguar, had 5 tackles and a sack. Defensive end edge Brian Burns had 4 tackles and a sack as well. Then defensive lineman Derek Brown had 6 tackles as well. So they made a couple plays. They got gashed on the ground, gashed in the air a little bit. So the couple guys made some noise. There's even rumblings going around. Apparently Brian Burns, and again, don't believe everything you read on the internet, but apparently Brad Holmes, our GM, has been on the phone with the Panthers about Brian Burns, another pass rusher. If that's true, you're probably going to be paying a little bit to get a guy like that. But I wouldn't mind seeing a guy like that coming to town. But it's just chatter. It's all it is right now. It's just chatter. But yeah, that's what happened there. Now let's go to the Lions stats, and there's some good ones. Quarterback Jared Goff was 20 for 28 on a 71.4 completion percentage. He was winging the ball all over the field. Looked really good doing it too. 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. His first 3 touchdown game of the year, I believe. 0 picks, sacked a couple times as well. O-line played pretty good there. They got a little bit banged up though. Jonah Jackson was seen walking up with a boot too, apparently on his left foot or right foot, don't remember. But he was a little bit banged up too as well. And Sewell gave up, I think, his first sack of the year. I think it was against, I want to say it was against Burns, but I think the Burns one was against Taylor Decker. I could be wrong though. But yeah, Goff was good. O-line was good. Protected him. Did really well. Rushing, the O-line did great there. Running back David Montgomery, big game. 19 carries for 109 yards and a touchdown on a 5.7 yards per rush. Fantastic game for him. Running back Craig Reynolds came in the game, 7 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown on 7.4 yards per carry. Exceptional. And quarterback Jared Goff had two carries for 0 yards. Must have lost a yard or 2 on one of those carries, but ended up getting a touchdown on a goal line carry. So four total touchdowns for Jared Goff. Outstanding work right there. And receiving, we're missing some guys, obviously, like through the air. Amon-Ra St. Brown, our number 1 option. Gibbs coming out of the backfield. He wasn't available too. J-Mo was back. I think he had 1 catch for 2 yards. I believe it was 1 catch for 2 yards. It could have been more, but for some reason I didn't write that down. But he did have 1 catch at his debut. He didn't really do much, but we'll talk about that in a bit too. So wide receiver Josh Reynolds had to step up. He had 4 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown, 19 yards per catch, 5 targets. Tight end Sam Laporta, the rookie out of Iowa, 3 catches for 47 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looked the part, looking great out there. 15.7 yards per catch, 4 targets. Wide receiver Khalif Raymond had 3 catches for 45 yards, 15 yards per catch on 3 targets. Wide receiver Marvin Jones Jr. getting in on the action, 2 catches, 22 yards, 11 yards per catch on 2 targets as well. Caught all his balls. And then running back David Montgomery had 2 catches for 20 yards, 10 yards per catch. He was targeted 6 times in the backfield, man. They're trying to get him involved really heavily on this game, which is a good idea, especially with Gibbs being out, right? So the tight end Brock Wright had 3 catches, 16 yards on all 3 targets. He caught all 3 of his balls on 5.3 yards per catch. Then Patterson hit all his extra points, which were 6 of them. So hit 6 extra points. Didn't really need him in the field goal department. Did his thing because Dan Campbell was going for it a lot too. I think he went for it 4 times and got I think he got 2 or 3 of them. I don't remember for sure. He didn't get 1. Was it 2? Did he go 2 for 2? I forget, but he did go for it pretty much every single time. They didn't really use Jack Fox. It didn't seem like. If he had a punt, I don't remember. So, and then the defense, linebacker Alex Anzalone, 11 tackles. He was all over the place making plays. DB Will Harris, he gets a lot of slack in this town, which is a lot of it is well deserved. But he did have a good game at 9 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, made a really nice pass deflection in the end zone too. Played a good game. And safety Kirby Joseph back at 5 tackles. Cornerback Jerry Jacobs, 4 tackles and an interception. Jerry Jacobs, he stacked 2 games in a row with picks now, so you like to see that as well. Cornerback Cam Sutton, 5 tackles. Didn't have the greatest game in coverage. He did give up the touchdown. I think it was the late one, but that's okay. He wasn't terrible, but he didn't have the greatest game, but he was still okay. And then linebacker Derek Barnes, 6 tackles. Defensive tackle Lee McNeil, 3 tackles and a forced fumble. Got some pressure too as well from the inside, and at least forced that fumble. He's making plays right now. 3 games in a row where he's gotten sacks or a forced fumble. That's all you can ask for. And then defensive end Aiden Hutchinson. What can you say about this kid? The number 2 overall pick from last year is an absolute superstar in the making. 3 tackles, a sack, a beautiful interception where he just reached out his paw and grabbed and snapped the ball out from Bryce Young. He was trying to do a dump off to Ian Thomas, I believe the 3rd string tight end in Carolina. And he just made a really good play on it. Just instinctive awareness, all the above. And then it looked like he was going to run for a touchdown. We had one guy to beat, and the guy kind of came out of nowhere and hit him clean right in the hip. Hit him clean right in the hip and just like overturned him. Boom. Like he smucked him. He smucked Hutchinson. Hutchinson knew too. He grabbed his leg instantly. It looked like it was just a Charlie horse. I think we'll know more during the week, but I think he'll be okay. But yeah, that's what happened there. And like that was it, man. The 42-24. Let's talk a little bit about the offense and the defense. The offense, they did what I was hoping they would do, run the hell of the football, and I think they did. They ran the ball over, close to 30 times as a team. There was a couple runs in there with Montgomery leading the way with 19. They got close. They got close to 30 carries between the whole overall team. I think they might have been just a little bit under, a little bit over, but they rushed the ball well, and it was against a team that doesn't really play run defense that good. But the offense came out firing right away. Jared Goff, 2 big incompletions right away, and then having the touchdown run by Montgomery, and then Goff throwing three touchdowns himself. 2 to Laporta, 1 to Reynolds on a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone, toe tapping. Nate Burleson would have been ecstatic with the toe drag swag. And then Laporta just doing his thing. Laporta's looking more and more like a fantastic pick. He leads all tight ends in like catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns. I think he's tied with Kittle because Kittle had 3 touchdowns last night. So, he's doing it. He's doing the damn thing, and excited about Laporta. Excited about this offense. They were on point. And then the defense doing exactly what they were supposed to do. Defense doing what they were supposed to do. Stop the run. Make Bryce Young beat you. They kept him in check pretty good for the first half. Gave up a couple of garbage points in the end. Especially the last touchdown at the end with under, I forget what it was, 4 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. I don't really know what it was. I know Teddy Bridgewater eventually came in this game. But defense played well. They shut down the run game. They did give up a little bit extra yardage on the yards per rush, with the guys like Sanders with a 4.6 yards per rush, Hubbard with a 3.9, Chenault with a 5.4. But they held that team under 99 yards and let nobody in the end zone on the ground. So they did their job there. And they had some guys banged up, obviously, in that secondary. Emmanuel Mosley going down, Brian Branch not even suiting up, and I knew Thielen was I was a little bit worried Thielen was gonna have a good day, which I said in my preview. He did. Every time I saw Thielen, it looked like there was a different guy on him all the time. You'd see like Sutton on him. You'd see Jerry Jacobs. You'd see a guy like Will Harris. You'd see different guys trying to be on him all the time. I think they even threw Kirby Joseph on him at one point. It's just Thielen was having a really nice day. He was having a really good day, and you could tell Bryce Young trusts him. And he's their number 1 option through the air. So, and like I said, Bryce Young didn't look too bad. He looked good. It was his first 3-touchdown game of his young career. Did throw a couple picks though. Pressured like crazy. He was pressured like nuts. Sacked only once though. But we generated a ton of pressure on him, and the whole point is they tried to make the Lions defense wanted to make Bryce Young beat us, and it just never happened. So that was it, guys. It was a really good all-around game. Domination from the start to the finish. Game was over. Game was over after the first quarter. You could just tell it was over. It was fun to be in there at Ford Field. I was there. The place was crazy. The decibel levels were going off on the Jumbotron. Fun to be there. Fun environment when the Lions are winning. It's fantastic. It's an absolute fantastic environment to be around. Everybody gets along. There's no problems really in the stands. You don't see. Good all-around game. Domination, defense, offense, special teams. Everything was fantastic. So that was it, guys. Fantastic game. Lions win 42-24. Up next, though, we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be probably one of our biggest tests of the year. We're going there. This game was actually flexed from 1 p.m. to 4:25, I believe. 4:15 or 4:25. So it's a later game. So if you got plans and you think you're watching this game at 1 o'clock, it's not happening. It got flexed. Now this is a 4:25. Let's just call it a 4:30 start. So 4:15 to 4:30. Let's just play it safe. So it's flexed out. Tampa Bay is 3-1. A little bit surprising, with Baker Mayfield going there, but it's a pretty good offense over there. A really nice O-line. They got a pretty good defense. They're winning ball games. They're first in the NFC South, and we're first. And they've had a bye. They had a week 4 bye, or a week 5 bye. Sorry, they had a week 5 bye, so they've gotten tape on the Lions for the last. They obviously watched us against the Green Bay Packers. Got the tape on there. Got the tape on everything. Everyone's got the tape. But I'm just saying they have gotten a good look at us for over a week now. And they're going to be ready. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be ready. We'll be ready too. It's a great matchup. Should be game of the week. I'm sure this game's going to be on Fox. Know a little bit more as we go. But I'm excited for this football game. But thanks a lot, guys. That is the aftermath. Big win. Lions stand top of the NFC North. Awesome. Thanks for coming in and watching the video, guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Really appreciate it. Go Lions. One pride. Boom.